Let's try the numerical reduction problem. And it says determine the value of the following expression without using a calculator. Whenever they say that word without using a calculator, especially when they have things like 150 degrees, when you reduce it, it's 30 degrees, you have to write down these special triangles. And 225 is 45 past 180. The reference angle is 45. You have to write down these special triangles or you'll lose tons of marks. And then they ask you to find the sine of 180, and you have to draw a little sine wave to show why you know what to be able to give evidence for what the answer is. So let's just do each part here. First, the sine of 225 degrees. You have to think, where is that? Well, it's 45 degrees past 180. And that's the third quadrant. That's down here. And sine's negative there. You have to know that sine's negative where y's negative. Here, the tangent of 150, it's 30 degrees short of 180. And tangent is negative in this second quadrant. That's why it's minus the tangent of 30 degrees. Let's do this sine of 180. If you draw a little sine wave like this, there it is, 90 and 1, 180 and 0, there's 0 and 0. And now minus 90 and minus 1, and minus 80 and back to 0. I know it's 0, and I've shown with this little wave I've drawn that I know it without a calculator. So that's my evidence for it. The sine of 300, it's 60 degrees short of 360. There's 360. 60 degrees short, that's the third quadrant. And sine is negative there, so it's minus the sine of 60. The last one, the cosine of 300, is really 60 degrees short of 360 as well. That's the cos of 60. Now it's time to use our special triangles. So for 45 degrees, opposite over hypotenuse is 1 over root 2, but it's negative. The tangent of 30 degrees, just go to 30 degrees, then go opposite 1 over adjacent, which is root 3. It's minus 1 over root 3. The sine of 60 degrees, go to 60 degrees, opposite root 3, hypotenuse 2. There it is. And the last question, the cosine of 60 degrees is a half, adjacent over hypotenuse. You just go to those triangles, there's all your fractions. Now it's time just to work it out. How did I work it out? You can go, this is root 3. I see, this is a smarter way. I'm looking at how I see minus 1 over root 2, and this is a square root of 1 is 1. It's 1 over root 2. Anything divided by itself just cancels. Now this thing on the bottom, you tip and times it. You turn it upside down and then you multiply. That's how you deal with dividing fractions. Look what happens. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2, so it's 2 over 3. But a negative times another negative, 3 negatives make a negative. Those 2 negatives make a positive. The third one makes a negative. You could have decided that by counting them up here and go 1, 2, 3. The final answer must be negative and then not even worry about it in between. But there's a whole numerical reduction thing all done.